Meghan McCain has announced that she is leaving The View. Let's watch.
I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. I am here to tell all of you, my wonderful co-hosts and the viewers at home, that this is going to be my last season here at The View. I will be here through the end of July to finish out the season with all of you, which I am grateful for.
So it was a little bit of a shock announcement. I don't think most people expected it. And we should have a discussion about whether or not this is good news for The View. I mean, you might have your personal feelings toward Meghan McCain. I certainly have expressed my own personal feelings toward her. But she does give some reasons for why she has made this difficult decision. Let's watch.
This was not an easy decision. It took a lot of thought and counsel and prayer and talking to my family and my close friends. And look, COVID has changed the world for all of us. And it changed the way, at least for me, the way I am looking at life, the way I'm living my life, the way I want my life to look like. And when I said goodbye to all of you in the studio over a year and a half ago, I had just found out I was pregnant. I left the city very quickly because my OBGYN wanted me to leave because he wasn't sure about how COVID could possibly impact pregnant women. I came to the DC area, which is where my husband and I have always split time, and it's where I grew up splitting time. And we have this incredible life here. We're surrounded by my family, his family, by friends, by this incredible support unit. And I think, as any new mom knows, when I think about where I want Liberty to have her first steps and her first words, I just have this really wonderful life here that ultimately I felt like I didn't want to leave.
And of course, if she's gonna announce anything, she's gotta bring up the most important person that she mentions repeatedly on that show, her father. Let's watch.
This show is one of the hands down greatest, most exhilarating, wonderful privileges of my entire life. And I have had so many amazing experiences in my life, and this is definitely one of the top. It is a privilege to work alongside such strong, brilliant, intelligent, incredible broadcasters like the four of you. You are the most talented women on all of television, hands down. And it has been so incredible to be able to do this with you. Before I came onto the show, I didn't want to join the show, as I think I've talked about in the past, and it was my dad who encouraged me to do it. He said that I could never give up an opportunity to work on such an iconic show and to work with Whoopi Goldberg, and he was right. It was one of the last things he told me to do before he died. And since we've been here the last 4 years together, we have won an Emmy, we've gone to #1, we've been parodied on Saturday Night Live, we were on the cover of my personal favorite of the New York Times Magazine as the most important political show in America. We have all interviewed every presidential candidate. This is the show in America.
So let's discuss, right? Because while I have my issues with Meghan McCain, I don't know if The View is going to make headlines ever again. Like, unless they find someone who is the equivalent of Meghan McCain.
Of course, and
right? So, and I gotta be honest, like, it's kind of entertaining. As much as I hate to admit that, like, I hate that it's considered an important political show by the New York Times. I don't think that's the case. I hate the arguments that Meghan McCain makes, but am I entertained by the back and forth? Of course I am. That's why we talk about it every once in a while on this show.
Yeah, like, no, when they do the mutual eye rolls, it's awesome, right? Like, oh God, you guys won't let me finish. But Meghan, you won't stop talking, okay? Anyways, look, in terms of her leaving, they'll replace her with another conservative and they'll be outrageous. The producers are not stupid. They know what's entertaining, right? I mean, right now, they're probably talking to Omarosa. Let's keep it real, okay? God, who knows? By the way, Kayleigh McEnany right now is desperate for that job, is my guess.
I think actually Kayleigh McEnany would be the equivalent. Like,
oh, totally.
Yeah.
She's right now saying to her agent, I will murder you if you don't get me that job.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's under contract somewhere else, so I don't know those details. Okay, so now in terms of why she's leaving, I think she's telling the truth that it's mainly going to DC, right? And so it's not like some thing like, I can't take it anymore, I'm gonna go to DC. She just basically wants to live in DC rather than New York, where they shoot The View. But is there a component of it that is having to deal with all the hate? Yeah, I'm sure there is, right? And by the way, even though we critique her all the time, I definitely have sympathy for her because it is a tremendous amount of critique and it's a tough thing to handle. So
no, she's
yeah.
Listen, I never really got the sense that she enjoyed this job, or to be quite honest with you, working in media at all. Like, she seemed to lack curiosity about the news. She seemed to complain about the environment she was working in, regardless of where she worked. I feel like it was something that she just kind of fell into because she was blogging throughout her father's presidential run. That got her a job at the Daily Beast, and then she just kind of like went with it. Meghan McCain, she gets to make decisions that I think a lot of women are super envious of. She's a new mom. She gets to live wherever she wants. She gets to spend as much time with her children or her child as she wants. And so if she's got the resources and the means to do it, why not take advantage of that and be happy?
Yeah.
Right?
No, and that's what I was gonna say too. It's a point of privilege, and I don't say it in a negative way, right? But yeah, the folks on The View make tons and tons of money, and here she is in some ways turning down tons of money, and you could even give her credit for that. Say she wants to spend time with her kids and do whatever she wants, but it's a privilege because her family's incredibly wealthy. So she doesn't need the extra couple of $1 million a year or however much they get paid.
Jeff Rutherford says the propaganda is so strong she named her daughter Liberty. I noticed that too. When she said Liberty, I'm like, who's Liberty? Oh, it has to be the child. Yeah.
I live in a glass house. I named my son Prometheus.
That's true.
And my daughter Joy, so.
Yeah. So I also want to go to the reaction from Whoopi Goldberg to this announcement. Let's take a quick look at that.
Your dad was very smart. He wanted you to be here with us because I think he thought we could help toughen you up for what was coming, which was
so true.
You know, this wonderful baby you were going to have, and his departure. So it was an honor when he said, "Please take my child." He didn't say it like that. But he said,
"She's a pain in the ass too."
Please
by
take
the
my
way.
child.
It's okay.
Yes, he did say that. He did say
she's
that.
A total pain in the ass.
So it's really something. That's right. That's right.
Amazing reaction. No, but like Whoopi Goldberg was like, your father was a smart man. You're a whiny little brat, and he begged us to take you and toughen you up and make you somewhat mature. And we're like, fine, we'll do it. Like that's the way it came across to me. That was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird. Right?
It was a weird reaction.
Yeah, and it was kind of an interesting admission too that like, oh, a powerful senator wanted us to put his daughter on the show, so we did. Oh, okay, so that's how it works.
No, she thinks that's totally fine. It's all good and normal. By the way, I do think that we should just take a quick look, just reflect on Meghan McCain's legacy over at The View. Wonderful video put together by our producer, Aishwarya. Let's watch.
Please welcome our new co-host, Meghan McCain.
I think what's exhausting is coming on the show every day and being told that Republicans don't care about anything. We just want people to die. We want children not to be educated. Nothing matters. Mike Pence left a game, and I understand that you said it was an act of, quote, systemic oppression. So if I left your football game, would you think that I would be behaving in the same way?
You're not the vice president.
Every woman on this show, at one point or another, cancel culture has tried to remove one of us from this show for one reason or another. And by some miracle, we're all still here. And I think the greatest miracle is still me. One of the weird parts about being pregnant during the pandemic is the world doesn't get to see my body changing because clearly you guys are only seeing me from the waist up. And one of my biggest fears coming back to the show, when we inevitably hope to come back to the show, is what the media's reaction will be to the weight that I gain being pregnant. And then if I don't lose it fast enough. And as the only Republican in mainstream media, when you talk like that, it puts us on the defense.
In places, I think even as me, just like the only conservative in the entire world left on mainstream media.
I'll ask you, Meghan.
Oh, I thought I was going third. I actually wanted to hear what the ladies had to say. So can I go last?
Oh, I have you up first. That's who I went to.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting information about social distancing, which that means stay 6 feet apart from people when you're out in public. Why do you think some people think this is an overreaction?
Well, when they write rap on the card behind your head, should I rap?
I mean, listen, daytime television is not about informing people. Let's keep it real. It's like the time slot for Maury. It's the time slot for stuff like this.
I know, but I actually disagree with you a little bit on that because a lot of people do watch this show and they get influenced. They get influenced more by Whoopi than they do Meghan McCain, right? And Whoopi is like the protector of the establishment. So anytime any progressive comes on, she's like, what are you people doing? You know what? Why don't you just wait your turn, okay?
What are you gonna do, tax me? You trying to tax me? Don't tax me.
Yeah.
She doesn't like taxes.
No, exactly. So they do have some influence. And I know that that's just almost like bloopers, okay? And
no, I think that was actually a fair representation of Meghan McCain's contribution to the show.
Okay, fair enough. But they do need a conservative. She filled that role. I do have some sympathy for her in terms of the hate that she got, right? But she was wrong all the time, nonstop. So we had to at least correct the record. All right, tribute to one of our members in the bonus episode who was so wonderful, and to an uncle of mine who passed away. We're gonna get a little personal there, but we'll see you guys there right now. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.